Your Excellencies, ambassadors, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and distinguished guests. It is my absolute honor to welcome you today for what promises to be a memorable event here in Riyadh, to spread a message of environmental awareness to save soil, to maintain life on planet Earth. The second edition of the Distinguished Speaker Series featuring Sadhguru, who will be speaking on the historic Conscious Planet Save Soil movement. To begin today's proceedings, the Save Soil movement seeks to bring about a conscious response to impending soil extinction. We are at the cusp of time when every action we perform will either have an affirmative or negative impact in the years to come. As occupants of a shared planet, we have the unique opportunity to be part of solutions to crises such as soil extinction and desertification. I now present to you a video that explains the science behind the Save the Soil campaign.
We are talking about climate change. We are talking about climate change, carbon emissions, and global warming and various other aspects, but we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy, in most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you are getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it, now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
The microbial life in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. This first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet, including you and me.
we have to begin to recognize that what we call our soil, Mother Earth, is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by ploughing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be on agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible, some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching Save Soil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If you do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it could take 150 to 200 years because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. We must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
We must make it our life's mission to save our soil.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
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 Save soil, let's make it happen.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Sadhguru. It is indeed my proud privilege to welcome our chief guest for the evening, Sadhguru, Honorable Charge d'Affaires, His Excellency N. Ram Prasad, distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. The Save Soil campaign is an initiative, as you saw in the video, which is taken up single-handedly by Sadhguru to raise awareness of the process of desertification and the soil depletion that is really going to affect our lives in the future. To begin proceedings this evening, I welcome our very own Ms. Vasundhara Raturi from the Embassy of India, Riyadh family, who I'm sure will enthrall the audience with her golden and mellifluous voice. She's a versatile singer who has participated in many TV shows and has also won many awards. Please put your hands together for Miss Vasundhara Raturi.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru, and a very good evening to all present here. I feel extremely grateful from the bottom of my heart, and I would like to thank Isha Foundation and Embassy of India, Riyadh, from the core of my heart for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be able to perform something in the holy presence of Divine Sadhguru. I feel very, very privileged to be a small part of the greatly successful Save the Soil mission, which is being conducted by our beloved Sadhguru. So the first song that I wish to sing for today's event is titled Satyam Shivam Sundaram, and I hope you all enjoy. Thank you so much. Shiva Thank you. Thank you so much. Before I leave the stage, I have made a humble attempt to self-write some lines for the very, very famous and very, very popular Save the Soil anthem, which you all are familiar with. So just a humble offering for you all. La 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. माटी का मोल क्या है हमें सद्गुरु बताए, मिलके करेंगे प्रण माटी को बचाए। माटी का मोल क्या है हमें सद्गुरु बताए, मिलके करेंगे प्रण माटी को बचाए। है रिश्ता ये अलौकिक तन मन से निभाए, आओ करें ये प्रण माटी को बचाए। ला 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 with sincerity. Why does the earth to have to face such atrocity? Let's think upon this question with sincerity. Why does the earth have to face such atrocities? It's you and me who'll bring the change, this change that lasts forever. Let's pledge together with Sadhguru for the world's prosperity. La 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 pa ga re sa la 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 la. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I thank Ms. Vasundhara Raturi for that really soulful rendition, as always. And as I mentioned earlier, she is indeed the pride of the Embassy of India, Riyadh family. We now have a classical dance performance envisioned by Sadhguru himself. Project Samskriti offers classes and performances of Indian classical arts, including music, dance, and Kalaripayat, a martial art form from the southern state of Kerala. These intricate arts have been employed for thousands of years as spiritual processes. The artists today have invested in these arts from a very tender age, not as a hobby, but as a way of life. The performance will begin with an introductory video, followed by an offering by Radhe Jaggi, a classical Bharatnatyam dancer. Please put your hands together to welcome Radhe Jaggi and the Project Samskriti team.
Project Samskriti is an endeavor to nurture and impart India's classical arts, designed by Sadhguru. It offers programs to learn powerful chants, music, Bharatnatyam and Kalaripayat, an ancient martial art form conducted by the rigorously trained students and alumni of Isha Samskriti. The art forms are imparted in their most profound form as possibilities for inner growth and transformation.
Project Samskriti is not today's idea. It's been in incubation for nearly 25 years. So this is an effort, not to save the art form alone, but to bring up humanity to a higher level of existence within themselves.
Namaskaram. One with a fierce heart of fire, draped in the rivers and oceans, with hair of open sky, and her body the ground beneath our feet. Mother Earth, our source and sustenance. Time is ticking away as we exploit this strong and gentle source of life to build our lives, our comfort, our luxuries. We have ignored her call, her plea. As her children, we suffer the consequences of our actions upon her. Time is ticking away. It's time to reinvigorate and celebrate the mother that has birthed us, fed us, and the one who will embrace us into her bosom in our death. O Mother, in celebration of your grandeur, in concern for your well-being, in love with all that you are to us, we dance in tune with your rhythm as we are only a part of you.
beneath my feet, your soil. When you rise, you become a tree. Again, you fall as a leaf. Who are you? You come up as a crop. You give me life as food. Whether I'm alive or dead, you are the only refuge. Who are you? You come as water. You come as milk. You come as honey. Who are you? If I eat, it is soil. If I breathe, it is soil. If I die, it is soil. Oh, my mother, who are you? Soil. In the root, there is a stalk. In the stalk, there is branch. In the branch, leaves, bud, flower and fruit, all rooted in soil. That is not our making. The soil, the very soul of all life, shall neither perish nor is created, but in a constant turnaround. A tree and a termite hill, the rough hide of an elephant and the fine silk of the spider, the beasts that you kill and the people that you love, all a recycle of soil, soil and soil. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil, let's make it happen.
Thank you, Project Samskriti and Radhi Jaggi, for that wonderful performance. I'm sure the audience is spellbound by the intricacy and finesse of the dance, through which the artists are beseeching the world to unite for the Save Soil campaign. Sadhguru started his solo motorbike journey from London on 21st March, with a distance of 30,000 kilometers spanning across 27 countries, from the UK and Europe to the Middle East and then finally to India. Birmingham, London, Amsterdam, Berlin, Prague, Vienna, Ljubljana, Venice, Paris, Brussels, Cologne, Sofia, Bucharest, Istanbul, Tbilisi, Baku, Jordan, Tel Aviv, and Abidjan are the cities that have hosted Save Soil events so far. Today, the 12th of May at Riyadh marks the 53rd day of Sadhguru's iconic 100-day journey across the world. Sadhguru has braved relentless storms and rain and snow and mountainous terrain, and now here in the kingdom, sandstorms, a lone rider at 65, driving ceaselessly with a single objective, that of beseeching the world to unite to save soil. I now invite the audience to share some moments that the Save Soil movement which Sadhguru has experienced so far.
It's a great pleasure for me. These beautiful Caribbean nations are going for this first.
This memorandum of understanding that we are signing, it will also bring some technical assistance to the Caribbean region.
This is a historic moment because here is the first step to turn around.
You are probably one of the most famous Indians, and what you're doing today is really important because people like you who have a wonderful following of millions and millions of people, and what you're doing with that is so important with saving the soil.
If you want to say, I love you to your child, you must just say save soil, because it is a more committed way of saying I love you.
Every single one of us needs to get behind this really, really important mission.
It's an extraordinary campaign. It echoes what we in the Commonwealth have been aspiring to do for a number of years.
Next 100 days from 21st of March, we want the whole world to talk about soil.
It is not about the motorcycle, it's not about the journey, it's not about the song, it is about moving people on the planet. Make it happen, huh?
Nobody spoke about soil like Sadhguru does.
I think if we all contribute, then we have a really strong voice.
There has been so much excitement and everybody is so excited to hear Sadhguru.
This is our time on the planet. What we do here is our business. Let's do the right things.
I honestly didn't feel like part of the movement before. Obviously, I'd never met him. Seeing what kind of a following he has and how impactful it is, I really feel like I just joined a global movement.
graffiti artist supporting this Save Soil movement, wanting to inspire the youth, and youth being the major population in most parts of the world today, all graffiti artists, to whatever walls that you have, make sure that you use this. One of the most beautiful cities of Europe.
It really resonated with me, the message that we have to save our soil.
It's our common issue together. It's not for one nation, for one person, but we as people have to unite and to solve this.
This is a celebration of human beings coming together to do what they need to do. Had a wonderful meeting with the Agriculture Minister of Slovenia. All of us have been part of this destruction. The only way is all of us become part of the solution also.
Sadhguru, thank you.
Riding on to Italy. Italy is raining heavily tonight. We are in Venice.
It's like a wave of hope.
Is necessary for the future.
Over 2000 years ago, this eternal city made the mistake of over-farming the region, and the erosions that caused did tremendous damage, and that was also the fall of the city at that time. So, the Romans of today should never make that mistake once again.
And we are very happy that we are aligned in our message to really high the profile of soils, and we believe that is very much needed.
Young people getting into farming is very good. That's the future of the world. Thank you. Here we are in Geneva.
I think it's a message of urgency, but it's also a message of hope. So I would really like to thank Sadhguru for his leadership.
The global movement led by him addresses the soil crisis by mobilizing people around the entire world.
It touches your heart, you know, and his message is strong.
This massive fountain in the Lake of Geneva is lit up for Save Soil today. With Save Soil colors of blue and green, you cannot stop this. The moment is on. It's going to be on till the policies are done. See, when people want it, it definitely will happen. There's no question about it. Tell me, will it happen? Huh?
Yeah!
In this cold, slippery road and winds are picking up speed, no matter what the hell, I have to keep going. You think this is a problem? Relentless commitment to what you do. That is the only solution. Save soil, let's make it happen.
We already have one action, which is an MOU to be signed between Isha Foundation and 4,000 Initiative Soils for Food Security and Climate for cooperation in achieving our objective of creating a healthier soil.
We were just sharing exactly the same objective, increasing carbon content in the soil.
I'm really humbled by your campaign, Sadhguru. What you are doing is really impressive.
First, I would like to thank Sadhguru for this campaign. I'm quite amazed and thrilled by it.
I was very honored to be on the stage and be able to actually express that his mission is what we need.
It's fantastic. France has been great. Well, Brussels.
Let's put together and work on a common message for all to save a resource that determines our future. Save the soil. We should all stand up and make the most impact we can to create a real change in the world.
Get the bottom!
And then a smashing evening at the main event. And a super enthusiastic crowd committing themselves to make this happen.
It's heartwarming to see everybody come together.
Save soil on the move. Let's make it happen. Just look up the news and see in the last 4 months, how many governments have started talking about soil because they see it's picking up momentum. But if you create 3 to 4 billion people talking about soil, that's it. That will be the main conversation in the government.
Save the Soil is a very important movement that we support as UNCCT. We would like to propose to the world to do whatever they can to protect the soil, because it is our future.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
I need someone to show me the way. I need someone to show me the way.
The Education Ministry in Germany has now come into the picture officially and asked all the children to do artwork to support Save Soil movement. Good, Arjun, wonderful. Congratulations that you wrote to the Prime Minister.
Let's make it happen!
So, on the way to Bratislava, well, the road surface is not great, too many puddles of water, so can't maintain very high speed. It's great that all of you are here in Bratislava. Nobody ever imagined 100 years ago that we will have to save soil of all the things.
Thank you for coming to Slovakia. It's wonderful, and I'm very happy that with your campaign.
Would you like to come in the kitchen and cook with me a little bit?
Why not? Without soil being rich, food won't be rich. Without food being rich, our bodies will not be a full potential. What do you call it?
It's a Sadhguru sir.
Table 12.
The old heroes always built something which stands up like this. But the new heroes are those people who will nurture the soil which always lies beneath our feet, never stands up. Oh, this wonderful city of Belgrade. The UNFAO said something which really deeply hurt me, is the soil that we are consuming right now belongs not even to these little children, belongs to the unborn child. This is an expression of our love and responsibility for our own lives and the future lives.
I love the message that he sent and how he broadened it, that it's everybody's responsibility.
There is a great potential for a good collaboration, partnership with the campaign Save Soil, and what we are doing as a government. We can make it together.
It's very important, bringing a certain sense of love and celebration towards the land that we walk upon. It's just after noon, but temperatures are around 2 degrees, morning it was below 0, not a weather for motorcycle for sure. Going from Sofia to Bucharest. Organize yourselves whichever way you want, form groups, come together somehow and see this happens.
Sadhguru reminded me that I have a voice.
from Istanbul were really amazed by Sadhguru to appear, and they were just so happy to see him.
This many people, if all of you are committed and you spend 15–20 minutes a day to enhance the message, I think I don't have to go on riding like crazy. Yesterday I rode 18 hours, can you believe this, through Bulgarian roads?
His honest expression of his wisdom and love for humanity, I think.
He's been riding through very, rough terrain, rough roads, dusty construction sites.
It was a long drive and we were getting a little late for the live event at Tbilisi.
He, right at the end, maybe 5 minutes before the event, decided that he couldn't stop for a break.
In the traffic, he was just removing his jacket and gloves and throwing in the car just to make it on time.
The whole purpose of this moment is to bring this home, that when you walk up on the soil, you know it is the source of your life. Keeping it alive is the most important thing. Will you make it happen? We could have touched, or nearly about 1.2 to 1.3 billion people have spoken about soil since 21st of March. But that's not good for us. We want 3 to 4 billion people.
It's a gift from God for the people, for the earth, for the soil.
We must save the soil, we must plant the trees, we must replenish the forests, we must save our planet.
Wonderful, thank you so much for standing up for soil. Right now, soil has turned into sand because we pulled out all the organic content. We are taking the life out of the soil. If we don't put that back, all the other concerns which are important to be attended to, but none of them will matter.
This is not for us, this is for him and his generation, hoping that they would have a better future with a better world. Save soil.
Well, it's very, I can tell you as a motorcycle driver, I also like motorcycles and it's not easy. This guy is devoted and this is what makes him so impressive and so he touches people.
When it comes to agriculture, when it comes to soil, when it comes to soil ecology, our national borders mean nothing because microorganisms operate as a global system. People are talking about doctors without borders. I'm asking you, are you beings without borders? Are you alive without borders? The only way we can see the continuum of life process is that it has to be addressed globally. Implementation has to happen on the land, and land is not managed by scientists. land is managed by farmers. So it's extremely important. It must be a single point agenda, incentive-based agenda. If inspiration, incentives and disincentives after a certain period of time is the way forward, this is my appeal to every one of you, because I don't want this COP15 to end as one more convention with more paper and more paper. This must end with concrete action, and action in such a way that it's implementable.
Save soil, let's make it happen!
I'm sure that beautiful video made the audience feel like they have been part of Sadhguru's tumultuous, happy and at times menacing journey, and how the world is dancing in rhythm to save soil. And now it is my honor to invite His Excellency Shri N. Ram Prasad, Chargé d'Affaires, Embassy of India, Riyadh, for his welcome remarks.
Respected Chief Guest Sadhguru, Excellencies, Ambassadors to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskarams and good evening to everyone. It's a matter of great honor for me to welcome you to the second edition of the Distinguished Speaker Series being organized by the Embassy to celebrate the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, as well as the 75th anniversary of the establishment of India-Saudi Arabia bilateral relations. Thank you. As you are aware, the series features prominent personalities who will talk and engage with our guests, including our diplomatic friends, on various matters of topical interest, especially focusing on those that seek to strengthen people-to-people ties between members of international community and our Saudi hosts. A couple of months ago, we had invited renowned Saudi journalist Mr. Faisal Abbas, who presented us with a very interesting perspective of the changes being witnessed in the kingdom from a media perspective. Today, we gather here not just for a talk or a lecture, but for a very important cause, that of saving the soil of Mother Earth, being led by an internationally recognized personality who we are privileged to have with us today. The Conscious Planet Movement to Save Soil, founded by global visionary Sadhguru, is a global civil movement to inspire a conscious approach to saving our soil and planet, with an aim to engage over 3.5 billion people globally, representing over 60% of the world's adult population, to make ecological issues a global priority. On a mission to save the world's soil from extinction, Sadhguru has visited 22 countries in the last 51 days. Saudi Arabia is country number 23. Most recently, he attended the COP15 in Côte d'Ivoire, where he addressed leaders from 197 nations on the topic of soil degradation. The movement aims to urge and support governments in formulating policies that will address soil health in their country and make farming activity more soil friendly, to halt and reverse further soil degradation globally. World leaders, influencers, artists, subject matter experts, farmers, spiritual leaders, NGOs are among those who have pledged their support to rekindle humanity's relationship with the soil. The Save Soil movement also has a resonance with Saudi Arabia. Sustainability is at the heart of the kingdom's Vision 2030. Along with economic diversification and social reforms, the Vision 2030 mandates a holistic view of precious ecosystems, including the soil ecosystem, by fostering sustainable agricultural practices across the kingdom that will help to provide citizens and residents with safe, high-quality local food whilst maintaining water balance and supporting the restoration of biodiversity. This sustainable approach is aimed at preventing soil erosion and tackle desertification by providing native flora that is also used by wildlife for food and shelter. Last year, the Kingdom hosted the Saudi Green Initiative and the Middle East Green Initiative summits focused on these aspects, which were widely attended, and also saw the participation of our Honorable Minister for Environment, Forests and Climate Change, Sri Bhupender Yadav. Now moving to the most important segment of today's program, our speaker needs no introduction. Sadhguru is a yogi visionary and a two-time New York Times best-selling author. He has been conferred 3 presidential awards in India, including one for his environmental work, as well as the country's highest annual civilian award for exceptional and distinguished service. Over the years, Sadhguru has also launched large ecological initiatives that have created a blueprint for economic development that is ecologically sustainable. He has spoken at the United Nations World Economic Forum, World Bank, the United Kingdom House of Lords, TED, and countless global companies, and also been invited to present at leading universities including Oxford, Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Wharton, and MIT, among others. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's my profound honor and privilege to welcome Sadhguru onto the stage. Thank you.
Hello. Who is managing the audio? Where are they? Hello. Yep. Maya tava mahakarah yogeshwara kala kala. Namaskaram. Can you hear me? Good. Sir, please.
May I request you for your…
Namaskaram and good evening to all of you. Well, you see how the outside situations are. Life is like this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Hello? The sound that you want will not come, the sound that you don't want, ting dong dong, will come. Those of you who are looking at me through your third eye, I mean the phone, it'll go on the YouTube immediately, you can download it. Don't waste your time hiding behind the phone. Well, just bear with me. I'm here just for one evening, you don't have to hide. Hello? It'll go on the… Sir, there's something called technology, it'll go on the web immediately, you can download it. Huh? What's that? That will also be yours, you can download it on your phone. Something will be yours, not if you keep it in your pocket. Something will become yours only when you absorb it and make it a part of yourself, isn't it? The body that you carry right now is yours, isn't it? Hello? But before you came here, if you'll keep the volume at one level, sir, please. Just leave it where it is, it's fine, thank you. Before you and me came here, countless number of people have walked this planet, isn't it? Where are they? All topsoil. Hello? This will also become topsoil, unless your friends choose to bury you real deep, fearing that you may rise from the dead, you know. This happened in Texas. There was a couple. It was their dream to go to the Holy Land, Jerusalem. But you know, they got married, few months of honeymoon, and then children came, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 12 years gone, children had to go to school, 25 years gone. Then children had to go to college, 35 years gone. Then children got married, 40 years gone. Grandchildren came, 45 years gone. You know, this is happening with life. Many things that you wish to do get postponed and postponed and postponed because life situations absorb you. So after a long time, when they were over 75 years of age, they got an opportunity and they went to the Holy Land. They were overwhelmed. They walked the street that Jesus is supposed to have walked. They went to the place where he is supposed to have walked upon water. Jerusalem is that place where every cobblestone bleeds history. They were overwhelmed. Unfortunately, the wife had a heart attack and she died. That happens, you know. Then the man was preparing, the husband was preparing to transport her body back to Texas. Then the local people arrived. They came and said, see, your wife, she's done the right thing. She's died in the Holy Land, what better? What better place to die? She's done the right thing. And now, to transport her body back to Texas, it costs $18,000. And on top of it, local charges will be there for funeral and stuff. But because you're American and you're our friend, we will do the whole process for you here in the Holy Land just for $16,000. The man thought about it and then he said, no, I will take her back to Texas. Then they said, see, you have lost a wife who's been with you for so long. Huh? But don't worry about that, I'll send it to you. A wife who's lived with you for so long, you lost her and you're distressed. You're not able to think straight, you know. But because you're our friend, we'll give you a super discount, $12,000, let's do it. The man thought about it and said, no, I will take her back to Texas. They said, see, this is not right, but you're American and you're Texas, you're our dear friend. Oh, but you're so distraught because of your wife's death. We will give you the ultimate discount, $6,000, let's do it. The man thought about it and said, no, I'll take her back to Texas. Then they threw up their hands and, why? Why are you doing this? $18,000 for the flight and then all the local charges. Here we are offering for $6,000 and it's the Holy Land and you don't want to do it? The man said, in Texas, dead stay dead. Whatever fancy ideas you have, life is on for a brief amount of time. Hello? Very brief amount of time. Right now, since you came and sat here, all of us are about an hour closer to our graves. Yes or no? If you learn some yoga, you can kick the can a little bit, but you cannot avoid it. Hello? Huh? I know some yoga teachers are promising you, my guru lived for 4,000 years. No, my guru died. I'm being honest with you. So, you can kick the can a little bit, but time is ticking away, isn't it? Hello? As you sit here, what is ticking away is not your watch. What is ticking away is your life. So what you call as life is just a combination of a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. There's nothing you can do about time. It's rolling away. Can you hold it? Can somebody put brakes on it? Can you rewind it, make it an yesterday today? Just going away. Well, there is something you can do about your life energies. If you organize and intensify your life energies in such a way that what somebody does in 10 years, you can do it in 1 year. If both of you lived for 100 years, in terms of experience, profoundness of experience and impactfulness of your activity, it feels like you lived for 1,000 years. But you can't do anything about time going away. I've been petitioning for a long time, at least 4 hours extra. 24 is not enough for me. Dead silence. I petitioned many times, dead silence. No response, only 24 hours for you and for me and for anybody. Hello? And it's ticking away. If you were conscious that your life is ticking away, you would definitely organize yourself. You would organize yourself in such a way that your experience of life is pleasant and profound. Hello? But you think you're forever. Not that you think so, but you're unconscious that you're mortal most of the time. You're going about the business of life as if you're here forever. And before you know what's happening, it'll be over. Yes, it'll be over. Hello? Especially if you're very joyful, it'll be over very soon. Have you noticed? Because time is a very relative experience. Have you noticed on a given day you were very happy, 24 hours, poof, went off like that. Another day you're a little depressed. Oh, 24 hours feels like a year. So only miserable people can have a long life. Because when you're miserable, everything feels long. When you're blissed out, poof, 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 go away. So I was in Tbilisi and… Sorry? Sound gods, you know. This journalist comes up to me and say, "At this age, how are you writing like this?" I said, "See, I've lived my life so intensely, I never had the time to get old. It takes a lot of time to get old, isn't it? And how did you get so much time? Only if you're miserable you'll have a lot of time. If you're very joyful, where is the time? Hello? There's no time, isn't it?" So, this chant, what I was doing is just this, that life is a combination of time and energy. If you manage your energies well, you can enhance the pleasantness of life and the profoundness of life and the impactfulness of your activity, because this is all you have. You may think you have money, you may think you have property, you may think you have relationships, you may think you have so many things, but this is all you have. It's in search of this you're doing the whole circus of life. You may call it education, you may call it marriage, you may call it children, you may call it wealth, you may call it prayer, you may call it meditation. All you're looking for is pleasantness of life and profoundness of life. When it comes to activity, impactfulness of activity, isn't it? Hello? If these three things don't happen, you feel dissatisfied with the process of life. Pleasantness of life. What pleasantness of life means is, if the body is pleasant, we call this health. You want it? Only one person, I bless him. I'll give you one more chance. Pleasantness of body means health. You want it? Yes. That's good. I'm talking to live people, not bad. The problem with most human beings is they're dead serious about life. See, this is the wrong order of things. First you must be serious and then you must die. If you're dead and then you're serious, this is a serious problem. Why you have become so dead serious about yourself is you have taken yourself too seriously. You don't understand, you're just a small pop-up on the planet and you'll pop out in no time. Hello? See, in this cosmos, this solar system is a minute speck. In that minute speck, planet Earth is a microspeck. In that microspeck, Riyadh is a super microspeck. In that you're a big man. This is a serious problem. Lack of perspective. This is serious lack of perspective. You just forgotten what the hell you are. You don't understand, you're not even an ant in this cosmos. Hello? And in the middle of nowhere, one mud ball is spinning on, and that we are sitting here and talking all this nonsense. And you're taking yourself too seriously because you got a smartphone. Hey, what do you have, smartphone or dumb phone? Which one is it? See, you call something smart only… you call somebody smart only if they're smarter than you, isn't it? Hello? So, now so many little things has enhanced you. You need to understand this. The enhancements that you have because of your wealth, your knowledge, your clothing, your possessions and whatever else is absurd. The only enhancement that you can have of life is pleasantness and profoundness of experience. This is all you have. That if you sit here You are so profound in your experience of life, just sitting here is a fantastic experience for you. This is the only way you can enhance your life. If you… see, I was in United States just a couple of months ago. I see one young man running around like his tail is on fire. I say, hey, what are you up to? Sadhguru, I want $1 billion, $1 billion. I said, why are you struggling? Tomorrow I'll give you $1 billion. Really, really? I said, yes, I'll give you $1 billion. He had come with 8 of his friends. I said, see, these 8 guys who come with you, I'm going to give all of them $10 billion each. Oh, Sadhguru, why Sadhguru? You're giving them 10, you're giving me only 1. I said, your life's ambition was only 1. Suddenly what happened? So your whole thing is about having something more than somebody else. It's the dumbest thing to do in your life. The dumbest thing to do is that you want to have something more than somebody else. This kind of enhancements will leave you always inadequate, always struggling with life, always missing out the experience of life itself. Because the only valuable thing you have with you is life. Hello? Have you been to a funeral? Not yours, I mean somebody's, yeah? You've been to some funeral? You know these guys, these dead people, perfect position, you know, like that. You go tell him, I have $1 billion for you. You tell him, I have a mountain of gold for you. You tell him, I have the most beautiful woman here waiting for you. Arey, he's not interested in anything. Have you seen this? Try and see if you want. Because once life is taken out of this, nothing means anything, all right? But when life is on, accept that you're doing everything. Right now, the fundamental problem is this, that people have misunderstood their psychological drama to be life process. They're misunderstanding psychological drama as existential reality. This happened. Can I tell you a joke? Hello? This happened. On a certain day, a lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man standing there, staring at her. Then he was coming closer and closer and closer and closer. He came so close, she could even feel his breath. And she trembled, not in fear. Then she asked, what will you do to me? The man said, well, lady, it's your dream. What's happening in your head is your dream. You're just not able to manage your dream properly. Hello? This is all the problem is. If right now, if your thought and emotion is happening just the way you want, would you be joyful? However the people around you are, your thought and emotion is happening the way you want, would you be joyful? If this much… who's that little voice? Big yes, huh? That's fine. So, see, you cannot manage the world exactly the way you want it. You thought you married the exact person that you wanted. They never happen 100% your way, isn't it? If they're happening 51% your way, you have the controlling stake. If you try 100%, they will be gone. Yes or no? 100% my way. Have you found anybody like that yet? Young people, are you still such hopeless romantics, you're still waiting for that person who will be 100% the way you want them? There is no such person. Nobody will happen. Lot of people given up on human beings and these days they're living with dogs. But even these days, even the dogs do their own thing. Nothing in the world outside will ever happen 100% your way. But pleasantness of the body is called health. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure. If mind becomes pleasant, we call this peace. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it joy. If our emotions become pleasant, we call this love. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it compassion. If our very life energies become pleasant, then we call this blissfulness. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. If our surroundings become pleasant, we call this success. Only to make the surroundings pleasant, you need the cooperation of many people and forces around you. Yes? But for pleasantness of body, pleasantness of mind, pleasantness of emotion and energy is 100% your business, yes or no? If you don't take care of this one business, even if everything around you is doing great, if you are not feeling pleasant within you, it's a miserable world, isn't it? As a generation of people, especially being in Saudi Arabia, as a generation of people, you are having more conveniences and comforts than ever before. I said especially in Saudi Arabia because it's a desert country. Oh, before this air conditioning came, before all these things came, I can imagine you sitting on a camel and going through the desert, melting away in the heat. Today you are not even fit to do anything like that. Hello? Even physically, you're not anywhere near that. I've been riding a couple of days in the desert, tongue hanging out, you know. You are the most comfortable generation ever, yes or no? 100 years ago, what royalty did not have, today average citizens have, yes? Most of you are driving chariots with 100, 200 horses, yes or no? But you're cribbing and cribbing and cribbing like never before. Especially all the ladies, I'm telling you, as women, you have never had it this good ever in the history of humanity. Yes or no? So don't go on complaining about the outside. Yes, outside can be improved. But the most important thing is, if the whole world doesn't happen your way, it doesn't matter. This 1% must happen your way, isn't it? If this 1% doesn't happen your way, you are a miserable nonsense wherever we put you. People are asking me, Sadhguru, this soil, what to do? If this happens, will it be okay? That happens, will it be okay? If you reduce the population, will it be okay? See, I'm telling you, if you give this 8 billion people 8 billion planets, in 100 years' time, they'll destroy it anyway. Because they're going in the wrong direction. When I say wrong direction, it once happened, there was a potato farmer, a very good potato farmer. One day he felt like eating apples. He went to the apple tree. Should I make it a date tree or you can understand? An apple tree. He went to the right tree, but out of sheer habit, he started digging the earth for apples. When he found no apples, he became very furious and dug furiously. After some time, the tree came down upon him. This is the story of the human beings right now. If you want to know happiness or you want to know misery, it's your choice. I'm not even saying you must be happy. It's your choice. If you want to be joyful or miserable, it can only happen within you, isn't it so? Hello? Did it ever happen here? No, people are telling you love is in the air, that's why I'm checking. Whether it is love or hate, joy or misery, agony or ecstasy, pain or pleasure, happen only within you, isn't it so? Even if… do you see me at least? Hello? Even if you're not listening, do you see me, I'm asking? Hello? Use one hand and point out where I am. You got it all wrong. You know, I'm a mystic from southern India. That's not a joke. No, this light is falling upon me, reflecting, going through your lenses, inverted images in the retina. You know the whole story. Where do you see me now? Within yourself. Where do you hear me right now? Within yourself. Where have you seen the whole world? Within yourself. You have never ever experienced anything outside of yourself. Anything that ever happened to you happened within you. What happens within you must happen your way. Hello? If this much you cannot manage, what? Suppose your right hand, don't experiment please, your right hand starts smashing your nose. It can happen. Hello? If it starts smashing your nose, what will they do somebody? If somebody next to you cares for you, they'll try to hold it. If they don't care for you, they'll get up and leave. Or they'll try to hold your hand. But if it doesn't work, if it keeps smashing, they'll take a rope and tie it to the chair. If it doesn't work, maybe they'll take you to your doctor and remove this arm. Because otherwise you'll kill yourself. Right now, this is all you're doing. Having evolved into human form, we gave you a… Now let me ask you a question, because I'm going to bless you when you answer, okay? Do you want a sharp mind or a blunt mind? Some people didn't choose You want a sharp mind. If we give you something very sharp in your hands, the most important thing is your hand is very steady and conscious. Hello? Why is it that we don't give a sharp object to a child's hand? Not because a sharp knife is dangerous. A child is unconscious and unsteady. He may harm himself or harm somebody. Yes? That's exactly what you're doing. If you had the brain of an earthworm, even you would be eco-friendly. Hello? The problem is only this, you have an intelligence for which you don't have a stable enough platform. You know, according to the genetic scientists today, they're saying the difference between you and a chimpanzee in terms of DNA is 1.23%. 1.23% is not much of a difference, isn't it? Hello? 1.23%, is it a passing mark? No, but that's how close you are to a chimpanzee physiologically. But in terms of your intelligence, your awareness, you are worlds apart from a chimpanzee, and that's your problem. You have an intelligence for which you don't have a stable enough base. Now this intelligence itself hurts. If we remove half your brain, you would be peaceful. Hello? I'm saying this because today even so-called spiritual leaders are going about saying the goal of life is to peace of mind, goal of life. I'm asking you, today if you want to have dinner, do you have dinner? Not yet, I'm asking you, will you have dinner? Today, if you want to enjoy your dinner, even if you're not blissed out, at least you must be peaceful, isn't it? Hello? If you want to enjoy the company of whoever is sitting next to you, if not loving, at least you must be peaceful. If you want to take a walk on the street and enjoy the walk, at least you must be peaceful. Tell me, is peace the ultimate goal of life or is it the most fundamental requirement in your life? But people are thinking they will attain it towards the end of their life. Yes, it will happen, you will rest in peace, of course. Peace is the most fundamental requirement. There is no peace means you may be 20, 30, 40, 50 years of age, you still not figured out how to use your thought process. Hello? When will you learn? What is your lifespan? Are you 10,000 your lifespan do you have? I just want to know. Hello? Somebody here, 10,000? Million? What are you? If by 30, 40, if you've still not figured out how to use your thought for your well-being, you're still using it to poke yourself. If you still… see, a little child will put the fingers in his nose, he doesn't know, he may hurt himself, you know? Hello? So you tell him, no, this is not the way, don't put the finger there, it'll hurt. Otherwise he will hurt himself, because he's still a baby. But I am asking, when will you learn, at least you know how to use your fingers? When will you learn how to use your thought and emotion to make this life pleasant and wonderful? Hello, when? 30 is okay? 50? 60? When? Or you'll rest in peace. I'm saying it's time to address this, isn't it? Hello? Because this is all you have. You're alive, and that's the most significant thing. You're alive, that's the most significant thing. Everything else is secondary, isn't it so? Hello? Just everything is secondary. Right now, that basic ability to be alive on this planet has come to us because of the soil and the life beneath our feet. When I say because of soil and life beneath our feet, in the last 2 years I met so many agricultural ministries across the world, and I find 85% of the nations still see soil as an inert substance that they can fix by putting a chemical or taking out a chemical. Soil is a resource, because why resource means it's feeding us. All of us have fed upon our mother's breast. Do we call her a resource, or is she a source of our life? Hello? Hello? She's a source of our life, isn't it? The moment you call her a resource, you have lost it. Yes or no? You have lost your basic humanity. The moment you call your mother a resource, you have lost it or no? The moment you call soil a resource, you have lost it too, because she is the mother of your mother. Everything that you see as life on this planet, whether it's a worm, insect, tree, bird, animal, man, woman, has come from the soil, which is just 15 to 18 inches. This is the cream of the planet. The topsoil is the cream of the planet. Every handful of topsoil could have anywhere between 8 to 10 billion organisms, zillions of organisms like this, a complex system. It is not just today that it's feeding you, you're a consequence of that life. Even in terms of evolutionary terms, you're a consequence of that. You have heard of one smart caveman who thought up that he could cook his food with fire. You heard of that? Some 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 years ago, we don't know what. A few millennia ago. Ladies, it's not me, but they always said it's a caveman. I don't know if it was a cave woman, but they always said it's a caveman, I don't know why. But I think it's a woman who set fire usually. So we don't know whether it's a man or a woman. So similarly, nearly 1 billion years ago, a very smart algae or a fungi, we do not know which one, thought up an idea of cooking up their food using the perpetual energy of the sun. Today we call this phenomena as photosynthesis. Before the phenomena of photosynthesis started, the atmospheric oxygen in this planet was a shade over 1%. Today it is 21%. That's why you and me are alive. So even with a mask you can breathe, because it's 21%. If it was 1%, we wouldn't exist here. None of the complex life forms would exist here. So our very existence here is based on the activity of the microbial life within the soil, which has generated plant life, and from that we have all evolved into who we are today. So, in the last 1,000 years, we have reduced the photosynthesis by nearly 85%. What's our plan? What's our plan really? Because over 71% of the land is ploughed for agriculture, 4.2% is paved for urban usages, so nearly 76% of the land is either ploughed or paved where there is no photosynthesis of any kind for 12 months of the year. Here and there one crop, 2 months, 3 months, there is some photosynthesis, after that it's gone. So once we do this, The whole carbon chain which we call as life, see, you're thinking I'm a great life, but as far as the planet is concerned, you're just a recycle. Planet is just recycling itself. Hello? Is that okay? She throws you out and pulls you back. Never she threw somebody out and did not pull back. You met somebody like that? There are some people who go to Himalayas and meet such people. But it's not going to happen to you, so don't think on those lines. You pop out and you pop back into the earth. We come from that, we thrive off that, when we are done, we go back to that. The very body that you carry is soil, hello? 60% of your body is microbial life. Only 40% is genetic material from your parentage, hello? 60% is majority, isn't it, in a democratic society? I was in I think it was in Sofia. That one little girl, a 8-year-old girl, comes to me and says, Sadhguru, I want to support save soil, I want to do music, I want to do this, but my mother is not letting me do it. I said, you tell your mother she's only 20%. Yes, you need to know this, that you don't possess anything here, it's because of this phenomenal life system that you are just a consequence. Hello? You're just a consequence of this life process. You're not a making of your own, are you? Some of you claim that, I am a self-made man, whatever that means. That means the Creator can be absolved of the mistakes that he made. So soil is the very basis of our existence. What went wrong with this soil? What is it, the mistake that we made? The Saudi Arabia where you are, this nation at one time was a lush green forest, 10,000 years ago. Today, can you recognize the green forest? This can happen just about anywhere, all right? This can happen just about anywhere. In the last 25 years, 10% of the earth's land has been lost to desertification. 10% in 25 years of the earth's land is gone. Over 52% of the topsoil on the planet is gone in the last 100 years. By 2045, as the video must have been talking about, every responsible scientist is pointing out, we'll be producing 40% less food and our populations will be well over 9 billion. By 2032, 3.5 billion people will be water stressed and 1.2 billion people will be migrating on the planet. Forced, unplanned migrations bring enormous suffering to human beings. Especially, the worst of the suffering is always for the women and children. When forced migrations happen, the worst kind of suffering and worst kind of exploitation happens to always women and children. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you should go and see in some of the towns in southern Europe what's happening to the African girls out there. It's unspeakable. Because they'll end up in a place where they don't know the language, they don't know how to transact, they don't have skills to survive in that society. It's terrible. 1.2 billion people when they move, it's a massive disaster on the planet. So this is what we are looking at right now. This is not one person saying it, every UN agency is saying the same thing. Every top scientist in the world is saying the same thing. But I have been talking about it for 30 years and people say, this is fantastic, Sadhguru, great Sadhguru, it's really nice, and they go to sleep. So I'm 65, I thought I need to do something to wake them up. The only thing you can do is put yourself to risk, then at least somebody wakes up. Now, after the COP15, the metrics, social media metrics are saying that we could have touched over 2 billion people since March 21st. 2 billion people are talking about soil on the planet. We want 4 billion people to talk. We want 4 billion people to talk because that is over 60% of the adult population. Why this is needed is, see, most countries are democratically elected governments, all right, in the world. Most nations are in that form of governance. Democracy means you give a mandate for a government for 4 to 5 years. Suppose any one of you, I'm saying, if you were the president or prime minister of a nation for 4 years or 5 years, would you focus on doing something which will produce result in that period, or would you focus on doing something which will produce results in 15 or 20 years' time? Please tell me honestly. You would focus on the term, isn't it? That's what every government is doing. Because without people's mandate, governments cannot really work, whether it's democracy or monarchy or whatever. Unless people really want it, doing it is difficult because it needs long-term planning, investment, focus. Never before in any given country, not even a single country in the world, 60% of the population has stood up and expressed some long-term concern about their nation or the future of their children. Only in tea parties, dinner parties, they talk like it's entertainment and go home and sleep on it. It's time, as citizenship, you stand up and speak. It's important because this is the first time in the history of humanity we have the necessary tools and technology that we can sit here and talk to the entire world. Never before this was possible. Many great beings have come, when they spoke hardly 10 people could hear them, isn't it? This is the first time you can sit in your home and talk to the entire world. When this kind of capability is there and you have somebody in your pocket who is smarter than you, hello? It's a it's a tremendous thing, you have somebody who is smarter than you in your pocket. Wow! Fantastic, isn't it? So when you have somebody like this with you, you must ignite the world with your intention, otherwise these things won't happen. So this is the opportunity we have. Either we can be that generation which turn back from the brink of a disaster, because if you act now, in the next 10 to 15 years, a significant turnaround is possible. On an average, according to UNFAO, the loss of species on the planet is about 27,000 species per year. Yes, you heard it right. 27,000 species, not organisms, per year are going extinct. At this rate, anywhere between 25 to 40 years, we will reach a place where even if we want to revive, we will not be able to revive the soil. But right now, we are in that cusp of time where we face a challenge and we have the privilege that if we make up our minds, we can turn it around. For this, you don't have to roll up your hands and go and fix your kitchen garden. That's very cute of you, but that's not a solution. Solution is only when it's enshrined in the policy. In every nation, it must be enshrined in the policy. Agricultural soil means there must be a minimum of 3% organic content. This can only be driven by incentives right now. After 10-15 years, those who have not responded to incentives, maybe punitive action has to come later, but right now it has to be driven by incentives. Please, sir.
Thank you very much, Sadhguru, for your most thought-provoking and enlightening keynote address. Moving forward in this interactive session, if I may be permitted to ask a few lead questions, after which we'll throw the floor open for the audience. So, my first question, Sadhguru, is that everybody knows you as a renowned yogi, author, and also a spiritual guru. In your book on inner engineering, you have focused on self-transformation. So, the question is, how does environmental awareness, and in particular soil conservation, influence a person's inner transformation? And specifically, what inspired you to take up this Save the Soil movement?
I'm not inspired by anything. I'm just lazy. Because there's so much to be done, I do it. Otherwise, by myself, I made like this. If I close my eyes, I'm done with life. If I close my eyes, I don't have to open it till I fall dead. I'm made like that. Activity is only as per the need of the situations around me. So there is no inspiration, there is a need, a severe, serious need. So, about inner transformation, don't give it all these big names. I'm asking you, if you are given a choice, would you like to be blissful or miserable? You must choose, I'm going to bless you. Blissful. Some of you didn't choose, I bless you. What you want for your neighbor sometimes may be debatable. What you want for yourself is 100% clear, highest level of pleasantness of body, mind, emotion, energy. You want to be in the highest level of pleasantness, yes or no? Why such a simple desire you cannot fulfill? In the world, if you want something, there are so many obstacles, there are so many issues, it depends on the times in which we exist, what sort of people are around us, what kind of situations we are in. There are 1,000 issues outside. All of them may not fall together. But what is within you, why is it? Hello, I'm just trying to understand this because in this body, are you only one person or there are many? Hello? I'm just checking. Only one? You're an individual. So if you're an individual and you want to be blissful, who the hell is stopping, I'm asking? No, Sadhguru, you don't know my wife, she's like this, my husband is like that, my mother-in-law like this, my boss like that. People come to me and say, Sadhguru, it's unbearable, my wife, she's giving me so much trouble, so much stress she gives me. Oh, my husband, he's impossible. My mother-in-law, oh, she's not even human. My boss, like this. Then I tell them, say, don't worry, you come here to the yoga center, I'll give you a nice place to live, good food to eat, no husband, no wife, no mother-in-law, no boss, just you. And we'll take care of you. You don't have to do anything. Just be joyful, that's all. Once in a way, I'll make a random check on you. If you're not joyful, if you're miserable, then I don't believe in feeding misery. Hello? If you're joyful, we'll take care of you for the rest of your life. Oh, 2 days later, I see them, they're all twisted out. What happened? No mother-in-law, no wife, no husband, what happened? No, nobody, Sadhguru, I'm missing them, Sadhguru. See, when you're alone, if you're miserable, you're obviously in bad company, isn't it? Hello? If you're with me and you're miserable, you can blame it on me. Oh, because of Sadhguru I'm miserable. But you're by yourself and miserable, you're in bad company. Definitely it needs to be fixed, because you have to live with this stupid person for the rest of your life. Others may come and go. Hello? Others may come and go. With this one person you have to live, isn't it? If this person is a bad company, then life is terrible. So don't give all kinds of big names, self-realization, transformation, enlightenment. I'm asking you, at least your psychological drama. Your world drama may not happen your way. Your psychological drama must happen your way, isn't it? Huh? If that is not happening your way, it simply means you're such a bad director of your own drama. Your thoughts and emotions are made up by you, isn't it? Hello? Why can't you make it up the way you want it? No, but they're all the way they are. You should be the way you want, isn't it? If you are the way you want, you can turn a few people around you also the way you want. If you can't make this one the way you want, can you ever make this one the way you want? Hello? Is there any hope for you? If you can't be the way you want to be, can you make your husband, wife, mother-in-law, enemy, neighbor, anybody the way you want? Do you believe that? At least this one person must be the way you want. So don't give big names to it. This is a silly problem, super silly problem as far as I'm concerned. Hello? Hello? So that's all, don't be silly. You have a smart friend in your pocket.
Thank you, Sadhguru. My next question, as we are in Saudi Arabia, we are also aware of the massive transformation that is taking place in the kingdom under the Vision 2030 program laid out by the country's dynamic leadership. Sustainability and environmental conservation finds a prominent mention. This is also linked to the kingdom, despite being one of the world's largest oil producers and exporters, actively diversifying into renewable and sustainable forms of energy. As the Gulf in general forms an important part of your journey, what message do you have for the region in general and for the kingdom in particular?
Say, the Saudi Arabia as a kingdom, right now producing around 54% of the food that you eat is produced in the country, which is phenomenal. And when the rest of the world is busy converting fertile lands into deserts, here, since 1970s, converting deserts into fertile lands has been quietly happening. Well, it's quite miraculous to see a desert become alive with life and with farming and with trees and fruits and works. Right now, I also spoke to your agricultural minister today, and it's very heavy, investment-driven. It could be very nature-based, and there are ways to do this. Hopefully, we'll partner in some way and see how to make this happen. But you have the necessary population who are capable of living in the terrain. We must use them to transform the terrain, because it'll also transform their economies and their lives. To some extent it's being done. It could be done at a much faster pace, because a desert land or a desert kingdom setting an example and putting other countries which have fertile lands and actively working to turn them into deserts, you must put them to shame. It's very important. Some shame is needed, because shamelessly we are turning the most fertile lands into deserts in the world. So, Saudi Arabia has a certain responsibility.
Thank you, Sadhguru. Now, finally, I would also shift gears and go on to another topic, which is yoga. You are one of the world's most renowned yogis, and yoga in Saudi Arabia, which was restricted until a few years ago, has emerged as a very popular lifestyle choice, especially among the women. Last year, it became one of the first few countries to enter into a memorandum of understanding on yoga cooperation with India. So, do you have any message for the yoga practitioners among the Saudis?
Oh, I have not seen what form of yoga is happening here. I have no knowledge about that. But looking at how it's happening in Europe and in United States and various other countries, probably a similar type of could be happening, need not be necessarily, but could be. So one thing we need to understand is, yoga does not mean a specific practice. The word yoga means union. Union means, see, right now you're sitting here, this is me, all right? You are a complete individual by yourself. You don't like this person, you don't like this person. You're total, perfect, absolute human being. So that means you must be self-sufficient. So these two holes, this transaction with all these lousy people, not necessary, close it. 2 minutes only, close it and see. You will see, without union with what is around you, you cannot exist. Hello? This is yoga. It's not just in terms of respiration. Every cell in the body is transacting. Every subatomic particle in the body is in transaction. But you have no such experience. How many moments in a day are you even conscious that you're breathing? Unless you have some difficulty. That's one good thing the coronavirus might have done to you, made your breath little difficult. And if not the virus, at least the mask made it difficult and you know you are breathing. Otherwise, if it's going smoothly, most people are not even conscious of it. You're in yoga with the rest of the atmosphere, hello? But you're not in experience. If you experientially know that your existence here is not individual, it is inclusive. The breath that you breathe, the water that you drink, the food that you eat is connecting you to everything around you. If you experience this actually, I must tell you this, I was 19 years of age. I don't know why I should share everything with you. I was 19 years of age. By then, right from my childhood, I was super active with many things. Except school, everything else I was active. Even in school I was active, but it was not education. So many things. So I'm always hungry. In my home, I eat, there are 3 other siblings and parents. Those 5 people, how much they eat, I eat that much individually. But I never put on an ounce of weight. I always remained very slim because activity was so much. So food was important because how much ever I eat, within 2 hours I'm super hungry always. So when I'm in this condition, you tend to eat without actually respecting the food that you eat, because you want it to go in quickly. So one day, I put a morsel of food in my mouth and I just, for some reason, I just closed my eyes. This food just exploded in my mouth. Because right here, something that was not me was becoming a part of me, right here. See, every day it's happening to you. What was soil becomes food. What is food on your plate? Now you think, this is my food, you eat it and then it becomes me, isn't it? Hello? Whatever you have eaten has become this. So that whole process just exploded in my mouth. As I was just little chewed upon it, the whole thing just blew me up. I was just experiencing something that's not me entering and becoming a part of me in such a big way. And my whole attitude towards food changed completely. Completely means it's not attitude without bowing down to the food. I can never touch the food, just like that wantonly. Because you're always in union, this is yoga. But you're not conscious of it. The air that you breathe, the water that you drink, the food that you eat, the land that you walk upon, you're one with it. Most people will get it only when you bury them. When you're buried, you'll get it, right? Hello? You are one with everything. If you get it when you're alive, that means you're in yoga, experientially, not intellectually. Intellectually you say, I am one, you are one, that's not the point. Experience, see right now, these 5 fingers, we don't know. The content of these fingers has come from many places, isn't it? Hello? Food that you've eaten. But these 5 fingers are 100% you, isn't it, in your experience right now? If you sit in this hall and you experience all these people like you experience your 5 fingers, then we say you're in yoga. So if you sit here and for one moment experience all these people as a part of yourself, after that, do I have to teach you, don't harm this man, don't kill that person, don't rob that person, do I have to tell you such teaching? Huh? Do you need any such teaching? Did anybody teach you this little finger, don't cut it up, it's such a helpless little finger? You'll anyway take care of that which is a part of you, isn't it? This is what yoga means, that your experience of life is no more limited to the boundaries of your body, because the boundaries of your body has happened only because of a very strong identification with your own body. This framework of what you call as myself is not just this. There are many aspects, let me not go into all this, at least you know you're breathing. Without this transaction, you won't exist. What you exhale, a tree is inhaling. What the tree exhales, you are inhaling. 1/2 of your lungs is hanging out there. Yes or no? If you experientially knew this, do I have to tell you, don't harm the tree? Would it be necessary? When we started this project Green Hands, this is what I did with the people. When I said we have to plant 114 million trees to change the landscape of southern India, they said, 114 million trees, how is that possible? Who can plant so many million trees? So I made them sit down and experience this. See, what you're exhaling, the tree is inhaling. What the tree is exhaling, you're inhaling. They sat there like this with eyes closed. Once that experience became real, now you can't stop them. No matter what you do, they will plant. Because they see it as a part of themselves. So, yoga is not a particular practice. Unfortunately, the yoga that you're seeing is generally a rebound from the American coast. Twisting and turning and looking like a leftover noodle is yoga. No, you can become yoga, you don't practice yoga, you become yoga. To become yoga, there may be certain practices. Essentially, you're doing practices so that your ability to experience life is enlarged beyond your physical limitations. Is it only for some yogi who is sitting in a Himalayan cave this is possible? No, every human being is competent. It's just that there's no focus, that's all. The priority is not there. Otherwise, every human being can experience this. And in this, there is tremendous empowerment. Continuously people are asking me, Sadhguru, where do you get this energy? Every day, 20 hours of the day, non-stop, 7 days of the week, you're on, where do you get this? See, if you live properly, only 40% of the energy that you have comes from the food that you eat. Rest is sunlight, air, water. Above all, this cosmos itself is a living cosmos. You're just a small bubble in that. You're not an independent life. You captured some life. Hello? You can capture more life, it's free. There's no gas station where you have to pay. If you want, you can imbibe a whole lot, but you are a wall. Big man. Big man means actually small man, that's what it means. Any man who thinks he is a big man is actually a very small man in his head, isn't it? See, some wives are clapping, this is not nice. Please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sadhguru. That was indeed a very thought-provoking and thoroughly enlightening session. I would now like to throw open the floor for the audience, like to welcome the audience for their questions. And because of the paucity of time, I would just request you to keep your questions brief and to the point, and as far as possible, try not to cover the ground which has already been covered. Thank you. Please also introduce yourself before you ask the question. Thank you.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Sadhguru, I am from Karachi, Pakistan. And this is very my question is just this, that being in your gracious presence, this is just a coincidence, or this is predestined, or this is some sort of good deeds in the past? Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Just, I'm sorry, please. Just if you mention your nationality, they're all clapping big time. Because this has happened, because in the name of nationality, race, religion, gender, caste, creed, how many ways we have found to separate humanity? How many ways? We're constantly looking for new ways. Language, race, nationality, religion, caste, creed, this, that, no matter what. Coffee people and tea people, yes. Morning people and evening people, all kinds. So when this is the case, and we are also getting super empowered as human beings. What 10,000 men could not do 1,000 years ago, today one man can do simply because of technology and other empowerments. And this empowerment is on all levels, both positive and negative. So, as long as we clearly divide ourselves in whatever way, whether it is caste, creed, race, religion, doesn't matter which way, or even gender, as long as we hold these identities of separation very strongly, conflict is inevitable. Hello? It's just a question of time. It's just a question of time before somebody steps on your feet and there'll be a conflict. So, now that we are so super empowered, that we have enough power to destroy not one nation, we can destroy the whole planet many times over. That much empowerment we have. When we are like this, it's extremely important we find some common ground, some common factor, a common denominator for all of us. If you do not understand what is this all-inclusive cosmic consciousness, it's too far away and vague and abstract for you, at least you must understand that soil is that unifying factor. For soil and soil organisms and soil ecology, our national boundaries mean nothing. Today, there is substantial science to show you how the soil ecology is communicating and integrated across the world. So you can't fix one nation and leave the other nation out. If you want to fix the soil, it has to be a global action, because that is how life is functioning. As a person, you may be an Indian or a Pakistani or this or that, but as a life, you're just of this earth. Hello? So, first and foremost thing is we are life, then other identities which add color to our life. You're a man, you dress one way, you're a woman, you dress another way. This adds color to our life, otherwise we could make everybody same. There would be no color to life. So you're an Indian, you're one way, you speak one kind of language, you sing another kind of music, somebody sings something else. All this adds color to our life. But fundamentally we are life. If we don't get this, we will pay the price in so many different ways. So I'm here, is it my past karma? This question should not come from Pakistan. Karma is an Indian problem. Now, what karma means is that the simple way to look at it is, today morning if you ate some bad food, you'll have some bad results in the evening. Or you ate some very conducive food, it has its results in some way. I'm making it very ridiculously simple example. It's that simple because every action that you perform has a consequence. This is the nature of life. This is not in terms of good and bad. This must be dropped. This idea, I did bad karma, so bad things happening to me, good karma, good things… No. Karma means it is the residual memory of everything that you do in your body, in your mind, in your emotion, in your energy. These four dimensions of activity are going on all the time. So, all these four activities leave a residue. That residue will start functioning in a certain way within you where it automizes you to some extent. Is it a bad thing? No, otherwise you will have to think about everything fresh. Little automization is okay, but you must be conscious enough to rise above that. Otherwise, your past will rule your present and future. There is I will not go into this because this is an elaborate thing that you have raised. See, Pakistanis are always putting us into trouble, asking such questions which will take 10 days for me to explain. There is a book on karma. If it is here, I will ask them to give it to you, sir, please. Thank you. You need to wait for microphone.
Sadhguru, pranams. My name is Magesh, I am from Coimbatore also, inga oor kardan ninge. We have come from the past when I am 48, when I am 15. We don't even step into our cultivating land wearing shoes or chappals. We have respected soil that much. It's our mother soil. We remove our shoes and we get into the land. But when we grow up, as we grow up, I did not ask for plastic bottles, I did not ask for plastic plates, but that has been put into my hand and today I use it elaborately. So who is to be blamed? Is it me? If given a choice today, I would not use plastic, but do I have a choice?
Oh, you definitely have a choice. This is a right thing. Somebody put plastic bag in my hands. Wow. This is a nice story you're telling. And you came from Coimbatore, but we didn't cure you of this? If it's in your hand, it's your responsibility. Hello? Hello? You're not a child. Even if you're a child, it's still your responsibility. You might not have realized it. So please, let's not go like this. We called soil our mother, but we've brought it to the state that it is. So just that emotion is not needed, not enough rather. This is why we're pushing for a policy, because unless it's enshrined in the policy, you will not follow it. See, in Coimbatore city, even if there is a red light of the traffic, you don't stop unless there is a policeman to chase you. So tell me, isn't it time that we understand that without laws, most of the human beings are not fit to do things consciously by themselves, yes or no? Because we've reached a point with the soil that there is no time to you doing pretty things and me doing pretty things. Universally, everybody should do what is needed. If that has to happen, it has to become the law. There is simply no other way.
From the…
Just last question.
Okay, last question. Okay, gentleman here.
Hello, good evening, Sadhguru. First of all, welcome to Saudi Arabia, Riyadh especially, and we are lucky to have you here. My simple question, sir, that whole world is talking about the artificial intelligence and machine learning, and the whole world is changing everything into the all the environment changes like artificial rains and everything. So can we do something for the artificial soil? That's my question. I'm from IT background. My name is Salman. So I just want to know that can we do something with the soil in the same way what we are doing for the artificial rain and other things?
So essentially, is there a technological solution? That's a question, okay? Well, technologies can enhance application, definitely. There are many technologies which should be made use of, no question about it. But I want you to understand there is no technology to create organic content. There is only plant life and animal life. Please get this straight in your minds, every one of you. There are only two sources of organic content, not just on this planet, in the known universe. There are only two sources of organic content, plant life and animal life. There is simply no other way. How to apply this in better ways? There are technologies. So, this happened in 2060. A group of scientists sought an appointment with God. And they got the appointment, they went there and they said, "Hey, old man, you've done really well with creation. But today everything that you can do, we can also do. It's time you retire." God said, "Oh, is that so? What is it that you can do?" They said, "Look at here, we'll give you a demo." They dug up a little bit soil and made a vague image of a human child and did a few things and the child came alive. God looked at this and said, "This is very impressive, but first get your own soil." There is no substitute for soil. There is simply no substitute for soil. Do not think otherwise. There is simply no substitute, not just on the planet, anywhere in the universe there is no substitute for soil, because this 15 to 18 inches of topsoil is the cream of this planet which has taken millions of years to generate. Do not think of something else. Technologies can help in application. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sadhguru, for answering all the questions from the audience very patiently. I would now welcome His Excellency Shri N. Ram Prasad, Chargé d'Affaires, Embassy of India, Riyadh, to present a memento to Sadhguru as a token of our appreciation.
All of you spend at least 15-20 minutes a day to enhance the Save Soil message, because this is a generational thing. If we don't do it now, we will regret this. After 20 years, we will be in deep regret. We don't want to go there. We want to make sure in this generation we turn this around. Vasundhara, you heard me? Every day, you must enhance the message. Namaskaram to you.
With that, we come to the close of the event. First and foremost, I would like to profusely thank Sadhguru for letting us at Riyadh become a part of his historic journey and mission to save soil. I thank him for his remarks and for patiently answering all the questions from the audience. I thank all excellencies, my colleagues from the diplomatic community, Saudi guests, and members of the Indian community for attending today's event. I convey my gratitude to performers Vasundhara Raturi, Radhe Jaggi, and Samskriti for their renditions, and of course the enthusiastic and hardworking team at Isha Foundation for making this happen at very short notice. Also, sincere thanks to Sarvana Bhavan and Lulu Group for arranging refreshments. Thank you very much. To end on a high, I invite you to watch the Save the Soil anthem, post which I welcome you all to join us for refreshments.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Braving rain, snow, mountainous terrains, storms, and now sandstorms, that have taken him through the UK, Europe, and to the Middle East. Birmingham, London, Amsterdam, Berlin, Prague, Vienna, Ljubljana, Venice, Paris, Brussels, Cologne, Sofia, Bucharest, Istanbul, Tbilisi, Azerbaijan, Baku, and Jordan have now all hosted Save Soil events. Today, we're in Tel Aviv to spread a message of ecological awareness, that saving soil is vital to maintain life on our planet. Help us spread and share this message on social channels using the hashtag #SaveSoil and by tagging the account @ConsciousPlanet. Okay. As a generation, we have an opportunity to bring ourselves back from a brink of a crisis and protect the future of generations to come. We'd like to play you a short video now which explains some of the science behind the Save Soil movement. Thank you.
We are talking about climate change, carbon emissions, and global warming and various other aspects, but we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy, in most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you are getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it, now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
The microbial life in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. This first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet, including you and me.
We have to begin to recognize that what we call our soil, Mother Earth, is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by ploughing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be on agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible, some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching Save Soil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If you do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it could take 150 to 200 years because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. So we must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
And the movement that you are taken up, I could not expect any more God's blessing than that.
Sadhguru, and this campaign is so important.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
And our planet's future depend on it.
Sadhguru, save soil, my friend.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
Antigua and Barbuda is part of the Save Soil mission.
We commend you for what you're doing. That is why we are happy to sign the MOU.
The science and philosophy that backs the thought behind the movement is tremendous.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make this happen.
Let us make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Envisioned by Sadhguru, Project Samskriti offers classes and performances of Indian classical arts, including music, dance, and martial arts. These intricate arts have been employed for thousands of years as spiritual processes. The artists that are about to perform have invested in these arts not just as hobbies, but as a way of life. The performance will now begin with an offering by Radhe Jaggi, a classical Bharatnatyam dancer.
Project Samskriti is an endeavor to nurture and impart India's classical arts. Designed by Sadhguru, it offers programs to learn powerful chants, music, Bharatnatyam and Kalaripayattu, an ancient martial art form conducted by the rigorously trained students and alumni of Isha Samskriti. The art forms are imparted in their most profound form as possibilities for inner growth and transformation.
Project Samskriti is not today's idea, it's been in incubation for nearly 25 years. So this is an effort not to save the art form alone, but to bring up humanity to a higher level of existence within themselves.
Namaskaram. One with a fierce heart of fire, draped in the rivers and oceans, with hair of open sky and her body the ground beneath our feet. Mother Earth, our source and sustenance. Time is ticking away as we exploit this strong and gentle source of life. To build our lives, our comfort, our luxuries, we have ignored her call, her plea. As her children, we suffer the consequences of our actions upon her. Time is ticking away. It's time to reinvigorate and celebrate the mother that has birthed us, fed us, and the one who will embrace us into her bosom in our death. O Mother, in celebration of your grandeur, in concern for your well-being, in love with all that you are to us, we dance in tune with your rhythm as we are only a part of you.
beneath my feet, your soil. When you rise, you become a tree. Again, you fall as a leaf. Who are you? You come up as a crop. You give me life as food. Whether I am alive or dead, you are the only refuge. Who are you? You come as water. You come as milk. You come as honey. Who are you? If I eat, it is soil. If I breathe, it is soil. If I die, it is soil. Oh, my mother, who are you? Soil. In the root, there is a stalk. In the stalk, there is branch. In the branch, leaves, bud, flower and fruit, all rooted in soil. That is not our making. The soil, the very soul of all life, shall neither perish nor is created, but in a constant turnaround. A tree and a termite hill, the rough hide of an elephant and the fine silk of the spider, the beasts that you kill and the people that you love, all a recycle of soil, soil and soil. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Thank you to Project Samskriti for that spectacular performance. "48 days of Sadhguru's Save Soil journey have brought us countless moments of fun, joy, and some of danger. Are we with him? We'd like to show you a video now that highlights some of the key moments of the journey so far and how the world is beginning to say save soil in one voice.
It's a great pleasure for me. These beautiful Caribbean nations are going for this first.
This memorandum of understanding that we are signing, it will also bring some technical assistance to the Caribbean region.
This is a historic moment because here is the first step to turn around.
You are probably one of the most famous Indians, and what you're doing today is really important because people like you who have a wonderful following of millions and millions of people, and what you're doing with that is so important with saving the soil.
If you want to say, I love you to your child, you must just say save soil, because it is a more committed way of saying I love you.
Every single one of us needs to get behind this really, really important mission.
It's an extraordinary campaign. It echoes what we in the Commonwealth have been aspiring to do for a number of years.
Next 100 days from 21st of March, we want the whole world to talk about soil.
It is not about the motorcycle, it's not about the journey, it's not about the song, it is about moving people on the planet. Make it happen, huh?
Nobody spoke about soil like Sadhguru does.
I think if we all contribute, then we have a really strong voice.
There has been so much excitement and everybody is so excited to hear Sadhguru.
This is our time on the planet. What we do here is our business. Let's do the right things.
I honestly didn't feel a part of the movement before. Obviously, I'd never met him. Seeing what kind of a following he has and how impactful it is, I really feel like I just joined a global movement.
Graffiti artists supporting this Save Soil movement, wanting to inspire the youth, and youth being the major population in most parts of the world today, all graffiti artists, to whatever walls that you have, make sure that you use this. One of the most beautiful cities of Europe.
It really resonated with me, the message that we have to save our soil.
It's our common issue together. It's not for one nation, for one person, but we as people have to unite and to solve this.
This is a celebration of human beings coming together to do what they need to do. Had a wonderful meeting with the Agriculture Minister of Slovenia.
Bellissimo press!
All of us have been part of this destruction. The only way is all of us become part of the solution also. Riding on to Italy. Italy is raining heavily tonight.
Here in Venice.
It's like a wave of hope.
Is necessary for the future.
Over 2000 years ago, this Athenian city made the mistake of over-farming the region, and the erosions that caused did tremendous damage, and that was also the fall of the city at that time. So, the Romans of today should never make that mistake once again.
And we are very happy that we are aligned in our message to really hide the profile of soils. And we believe that is very much needed.
Young people getting into farming is very good. That's the future of the world. Thank you. Here we are in Geneva.
I think it's a message of urgency, but it's also a message of hope. So I would really like to thank Sadhguru for his leadership.
The global movement led by him addresses the soil crisis by mobilizing people around the entire world.
It touches your heart, you know, and his message is strong.
This massive fountain in the Lake of Geneva is lit up for Save Soil today, with Save Soil colors of blue and green. You cannot stop this. The moment is on. It's going to be on till the policies are done. See, when people want it, it definitely will happen. There's no question about it. Tell me, will it happen? Huh?
In this cold, slippery road and winds are picking up speed, no matter what the hell, I have to keep going. You think this is a problem? Relentless commitment to what you do. That is the only solution. Save soil, let's make it happen.
We already have one action, which is an MOU to be signed between Isha Foundation and 4,000 Initiative Soils for Food Security and Climate for cooperation in achieving our objective of creating a healthier soil.
We were just sharing exactly the same objective, increasing carbon content in the soil.
I'm really humbled by your campaign, Sadhguru. What you are doing is really impressive.
First, I would like to thank Sadhguru for this campaign. I'm quite amazed and thrilled by it.
I was very honored to be on the stage and be able to actually express that his mission is what we need.
It's fantastic. France has been great.
Well, Brussels.
Let's put together and work on a common message for all to save a resource that determines our future. Save the soil.
We should all stand up and make the most impact we can to create a real change in the world.
And then a smashing evening at the main event. And a super enthusiastic crowd committing themselves to make this happen.
It's heartwarming to see everybody come together.
Save soil, on the move. Let's make it happen. Just look up the news and see in the last 4 months, how many governments have started talking about soil because they see it's picking up momentum. But if you create 3 to 4 billion people talking about soil, that's it. That will be the main conversation in the government.
Save the Soil is a very important movement that we support as UNCCT. We would like to propose to the world to do whatever they can to protect the soil, because it is our future.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
I need someone to show me the way. I need someone to show me the way.
The Education Ministry in Germany has now come into the picture officially and asked all the children to do artwork to support Save Soil movement.
Good, Arjun, wonderful. Congratulations that you wrote to the Prime Minister.
Let's make it happen!
So, on the way to Bratislava, well, the road surface is not great, too many puddles of water, so can't maintain very high speed.
It's great that all of you are here in Bratislava. Nobody ever imagined 100 years ago that we will have to save soil of all the things.
Thank you for coming to Slovakia. It's wonderful, and I'm very happy that with your campaign.
Would you like to come in the kitchen and cook with me a little bit?
Why not? Without soil being rich, food won't be rich. Without food being rich, our bodies will not be of full potential.
What do you call it?
It's a Sadhguru salad.
Table 12.
The old heroes always built something which stands up like this, but the new heroes are those people who will nurture the soil which always lies beneath our feet, never stands up.
This wonderful city of Belgrade, the UNFAO said something which really deeply hurt me, is the soil that we are consuming right now belongs not even to these little children, belongs to the unborn child. This is an expression of our love and responsibility for our own lives and the future lives.
I love the message that he sent and how he broadened it, that it's everybody's responsibility.
I think there is a great potential for a good collaboration, partnership with the campaign Save Soil, and what we are doing as a government. We can make it together.
It's very important, bringing a certain sense of love and celebration towards the land that we walk upon.
It's just after noon, but temperatures are around 2 degrees, morning it was below zero. Not a weather for motorcycle for sure. Going from Sofia to Bucharest,
Organize yourselves whichever way you want, form groups, come together somehow and see this happens.
Sadhguru reminded me that I have a voice.
The people from Istanbul were really amazed by Sadhguru to appear, and they were just so happy to see him.
This many people, if all of you are committed and you spend 15–20 minutes a day to enhance the message, I think I don't have to go on riding like crazy. Yesterday I rode 18 hours, can you believe this, through Bulgarian roads?
Is an honest expression of his wisdom and love for humanity, I think.
He'd been riding through very, rough terrain, rough roads, dusty construction sites.
It was a long drive and we were getting a little late for the live event at Tbilisi.
He, right at the end, maybe 5 minutes before the event, decided that he couldn't stop for a break.
In the traffic, he was just removing his jacket and gloves and throwing in the car just to make it on time.
purpose of this moment is to bring this home, that when you walk up on the soil, you know it is the source of your life. Keeping it alive is the most important thing. Will you make it happen? We could have touched, or nearly about 1.2 to 1.3 billion people have spoken about soil since 21st of March. But that's not good for us. We want 3 to 4 billion people.
It's a gift from God for the people, for the earth, for the soil.
We must save the soil, we must plant the trees, we must replenish the forests, we must save our planet.
Wonderful, thank you so much for standing up for soil.
يا تربة الحبيبة وعدا منا وعهدا والعهد لن يخيبا.
Right now, soil has turned into sand because we pulled out all the organic content. We are taking the life out of the soil. If we don't put that back, all the other concerns which are important to be attended to, but none of them will matter.
This is not for us, this is for him and his generation, hoping that they would have a better future with a better world. Save soil.
It's now our honor to welcome to the stage the Director General of the Ministry of Economy and Industry of Israel, Dr. Ron Malka.
Honorable Sadhguru, audience, it's such a great honor and pleasure to welcome here Honorable Sadhguru coming to visit us in our modest and humble country. It is such an experience to have Sadhguru here coming with this great message of saving soil, which should be kind of a wake-up call for everybody. And with this message and with this campaign, I'm sure that it will bring something which is very important to the world, and of course Israel should and would like to be part of it. Just a few minutes ago in a private meeting with Honorable Sadhguru, I just mentioned that for Judaism, saving soul is something that is very well known, and we are so much aware of it in our tradition, in our religion, what we call Shnat Shemitah. Every 6 years we stop working the land, saving it, understanding and internalizing the importance of respecting soil and keeping it. So I think that for us, it's something very special to engage with this great vision of saving soil. As the foreign ambassador of Israel to India, I can tell you about the relations, the great relations between Israel and India. I think that Israel and India can be a shining example for the world how much two countries can collaborate, can create partnership, and especially in agriculture, the best mutual agriculture project between any two countries in the world is between Israel and India. We have now more than 30 active centers of excellence of agriculture in India, initiated by Israel. It's a mutual project of Israel and India, training more
more than 160,000 Indian farmers every year. Thank you. Again, one more thing important to mention is the International Solar Alliance, which India is the initiator and the leader in the world. India is leading an initiative, global, international initiative, which is called the International Solar Alliance, and Israel is a partner of it. Israel and India are partners in leading this green energy initiative, and this is again something that is about conserving and preserving our very respected and important world, planet. So again, thank you. Again, I think that Honorable Sadhguru should see his visit here in Israel as something which is very special, very unique, and given the relations, the flourishing relationship between Israel and India, we are more than happy to share the vision and to, as I said, to take this vision that Sadhguru is bringing with him and to make it like a turning point from here and forward, and to keep and respect soil. Thank you so much, Sadhguru, for giving us this honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those powerful words. We're also delighted to welcome to the stage Miss Tamar Sandberg, the Minister of Environmental Protection of Israel.
Wow. Namaste. Shalom. Welcome, Sadhguru, to Israel, to Tel Aviv. First of all, I want to thank you for stopping by for us in such a short notice to our country, to our city, and sharing with us your international and inspiring journey to save soil, to bring people together and to raise awareness to one of the most urgent but less talked about ecological, economic and social problem of our time. The land of Israel, and when I say the land of Israel, I mean literally the land of Israel, the soil of Israel, is suffering from worsening degradation, loss of biomass and erosion. Actually, over 90% of the agricultural land in Israel is in danger of erosion, which is over 16% of the size of our state. Our state is small but very rich. And actually millions of cubic meters of fertile soil moves from agricultural fields directly to drained canals, streams and seas. This creates, in addition to a huge loss of soil, which is crucial natural resources that is renewed at a very slow pace in processes that take thousands of years, very serious environmental problems such as water pollution and floods. Soil erosion, degradation and loss of fertility are not new problems. In fact, they are known from the beginning of the agricultural revolution. In our area, ancient cities such as Jerusalem and Jericho were known in their frequent use of terrace as a method to prevent soil erosion on the one hand and allowing water to continue to flow on the other hand. We still see these terraces in those areas and work to preserve them as an archaeological, environmental, and heritage site for all the people of all the religions in our region. Like many other ecological problems, climate change plays a very big part in the fight to save soil. Climate change has a major impact on soil fertility and moist, and changes in land use and soil can either accelerate or slow down climate change. Therefore, we will bring tomorrow, actually, on Sunday, the first time in Israel, a climate law that will be approved in the Israeli government tomorrow. So your visit is very timely, Sadhguru, because we know that without healthier soil and sustainable land and sustainable soil management, we cannot tackle the climate crisis. We cannot produce enough food and adapt to a changing climate. The answer lies in preserving and restoring ecosystems and letting nature thrive and capture carbon from the atmosphere and actually do this work for us and maybe restore what we so often destroy. Actually, friends, we are past the days where the economy and the environment were parallel or even enemies. The biggest and most powerful economies in the world now understand that there is no choice but to transition fast to a world where we live beside nature, uses nature resources sustainably and with sacred respect instead of over-exploiting them. There is no future for us without nature, without wildlife, without natural water resources, and without healthy soil. And I want to thank you, Sadhguru, personally, and on behalf of this huge crowd that came here in such a short notice, and thank you for celebrating with us and accepting us to your community. I'm actually amazed to see this really amazing audience. So I want to thank you, Sadhguru, personally, for bringing all these people together and for connecting all of us and reminding us that the circle of life is dependent on the sustainability of soil. Thank you. And save soul!
Thank you to Ms. Sandberg for those inspiring words. And now, in the absence of the Ambassador of India, we kindly request Mr. Rajiv Bodwade, Deputy Chief of Mission and Chargé d'Affaires of the Embassy